For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good, guys? Fun and Fire here, back from the video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my full gun tight slots halfback week offensive guide. This is definitely one of the best formations this year as far as the competitive scene and ultimate team. This is, like I said, probably more of an ultimate team type salary cap scheme rather than regs, but you still can run it in regs. What you want, though, is at least one player with the 4 extra hot routes. With that being said, let's hop into the way you get 4 wide receivers. Now, what you're going to do, just flick your right stick with the packages until you get to strong slots. What that is going to do, as you guys see, I got Michael Thomas and George Kittle. If you want 2 wide receiver apprentices, or you need a route apprentice here, so you want 2 route apprentices right here in the slot. So you just want them at wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. What I'm going to do is just simply sub the tight end out. The tight end is going to get subbed out right here. And yeah, you have 4 wide receivers. You know, obviously pretend Kittle's a receiver. I'm using him as a receiver because he's the only player in regs who can get these hot routes at the tight end slot. But with that being said, let's hop into our audibles. What I like to do is just have Flood at RB, and I have X at mesh spot. I like to come out and stick switch every play as well, and then, you know, keep 4 verticals, keep our inside zone. So with that being said, let's go ahead hop into our first play. It's going to be the mesh spot, and this is going to be good against cover 3 and cover 2 both. Now I'm just going to quickly respot the ball, and what I like to do is if I have my receiver or my running back on a hash, really does depend on which side I want to run it. Now if you're running this mesh spot, you want the running back on the short side, simply because of this wheel route. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you guys my favorite route combo in this entire offense. And it's going to look something like this. So we have a post, a hitch, a wheel, and a flat. Now I could really run this combo from any hash, but I feel like the wheel route does get a little bit more open from this short side of the field. So with that being said, you're just going to snap the ball, look at it against cover 3. He's going to be just completely open. Now, you saw that little low ball. What I did there, similar to mesh post, is I just held the left trigger for a low ball and I pass led inside. So in this case, I pass led to the right. That's going to give him that little falling down animation. He's really never going to drop the ball, you know, when he's doing that animation. So super good animation right there. So again, that setup was just putting this outside receiver in a flat, which is left trigger, and then putting Thomas in a post and Metcalf on a hitch. Now, if they do end up using the wheel route, so let's say they do use your wheel route, you can still scramble out here, and boom, look who's wide open. It's going to be Michael Thomas on that post. And yeah, he's just going to be completely open right there. So that's really what you want. You want to hit your opponent with the wheel route a couple of times because he's never going to really be using the routes on the left side of the field or the short side, which is what you want. You're going to you want him to cover the shorter routes, and then you want to hit him with the heavy hitter type of route. So again, here's a look at it. I could really throw both these against the computer. So boom, let's say he's using the post, which more times than not, since this formation, for whatever reason, nobody really uses it in MUT. It's a fairly unpopular form, despite how good it is. But as far as this goes, more people are going to follow the post, the hitch, whatever, and they're not even going to be expecting this wheel route. And it's literally going to be so open against the cover 3 defense. It does get open against cover 2 as well. Unfortunately, I can't really audible quickly, which is, you know, kind of annoying, but just take my word for it. It works against cover 2 as well. Same with this post combo. So again, let's say they use your wheel route, and make sure you block A as well. You want at least 6 people blocking pretty much every play. Just simply roll out to the right, though, and low ball that post route. I recommend getting post flag elite on both these players as well. That's just something that's going to be a little bit nice for you. But something else that you could do is a route combo like this, where I'm going to put Y on a cross. Now, when I run this combo, what I like to do is I like to be on this hash mark, which, you know, will make the wheel route a little bit worse, but it's going to help the crosser a lot. So here's our route combo. It should still work against this cover 3, but you guys see it's not really open. So even if I throw that would have been an easy interception, which is why you need to be on the short side, and it's why it sort of takes out the point of this play. So that's pretty much all for the mesh spot play. Like I said, you could try and run that crosser combo, but the crossers from the short side of the field are very bad just because they have to cover so much ground. So again, here's a look at that route combo. If I try to throw the crosser, it's probably not going to be as open. You guys see it does still get a little bit open, but it's not my favorite route, and a good click on might be able to defend it depending on if they're baseline pressed, whatever the case is. So that's pretty much it for the mesh spot. I like to just pound those 2 route combos out of this play. But as far as the next play, and I'm just going to go over this stick switch. Stick switch, definitely one of my favorite route combinations, one of my favorite plays. And what you're going to do out of this play is you're going to put A on a post, and then you're going to put this little Y wide receiver on X wide receiver on a slant, and you're just going to leave B on the out and Y on the hitch. Now, something you could do is put X on a hitch and Y on a slant, something like this. And that probably will be a little bit better because you want the hitch as far to the outside as you can. So here's a look at the route combo. All you're doing is putting X on a hitch, Y on a slant, A on a post. And remember, you do have those extra hot routes, so boom. Definitely shouldn't have lowballed there. That was my fault. But this slant to out route combo is a very good high-low read. And usually you want to hit the low ball slant as far as that's concerned. But this A post combo, I'll try to hit this now. We're going to get the chop block. I'm going to roll out here, low ball, and you guys see he's going to be completely open. These type of post hitch combos, high-low reads, always work very good against cover 3. They work against cover 2 as well, but make sure that you don't get baited because if for whatever reason the cloud flat doesn't work on the hitch, then you could be worked into throwing a interception, which is definitely what you don't want. But again, here's a look at that route combo. Snap the ball here. Right off the bat, I could easily just low ball this slant. He's going to be open unless they're usered, and really it's following your user. Similar to wide receiver post out of my video yesterday, what you are looking at is if he's using the slant or the post. More times than not, I've had people use the slant route, and then they try to lurk back on the post later. But if you have a pretty quick receiver here, it shouldn't be an issue, and what you can do is simply just hit that post route every time. I'm sure you guys have noticed from the last couple of plays that this out route's been getting completely wide open every single time, and that's just because the zone's playing really weird. More times than not, that zone's not going to get bumped, but right there he just is, and it's going to be open. So very good play. You can really spread it out, and that's just the first setup out of the stick switch, and it's just a great play to run stocks. You have all these hitches and out routes. You can snap the ball relatively quickly. But that's going to take us to our next setup. For our next setup, I'm going to respot the ball to this hash with my running back on the wide side. So whenever I run this, there's not really a threat of me, putting this player on whatever route I want or that little wheel route. But what I'm going to do here is put Y on a cross, B on a streak, A on a post, and X on a hitch. So here's a look. We have cross, streak, post, and hitch. Super strong player right here. You could really throw either. Boom. I like to roll out, and usually I like to roll out and throw this crosser. That's really what you want to hit because the crosser is going to be more deep and it's going to be more open than this post route. If I try to throw this post, especially from the short side, it's not going to be as open. But you guys see it's still going to work just the exact same way. Again, they both work against cover 2 and cover 3. But super, super strong route combination right there. And this is probably my favorite route combo in the entire offense, just because you can tell pretty quickly on which route they're going to be using, and you still have time to throw whatever route they don't use. So let's say I roll out here, it looks like he's following the post, but he doesn't. I can still throw this super late, and we have so much separation that he's going to be completely wide open pretty much every rip down the road. So again here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick switch, Y on a cross, which is D-pad up, B on a streak, A on a post, and X on a hitch, like this. Snap the football. He's going to use the post this time. And even if we lowball that post route, it's going to go to the hitch, and you see the hitch open every single time. I haven't thrown it once, but it's open for 5 yards plus every single time. But those are pretty much the only 2 setups that I personally like to rock with. If I wanted to go with a little bit of a max protect type of a setup, probably what I would do is put, actually I don't even think I can really do this, but you want to put Y on a post, and basically just be on a slant. Something like this can be a good high-low read combo. Obviously, if you max protect, then you can block 7. But you just have a slant to out, and then you have this skinny post. Nothing's going to pull it down, though, which makes this route a little bit worse. We're still able to get that completion, though, and the last setup out of this, and again, I don't really rock with this one too much, but you're just going to put B on a slant, Y on a post. You have this hitch with your tight end, which is a very decent route. And then you have the same high-low read just from the other side, so I could roll out, throw the slow ball, or I can roll out and, throw my post route. That's going to be completely open because of the other routes. And you can really quick snap this one super quickly, or quick snap super quickly. It's obviously in the name, but you can snap this ball very quickly. And it's going to be difficult for your opponent to defend, especially if he doesn't have his adjustments off. So let's say I come to the line, post, slant, snap, and he's already blocking. I can easily roll out, and he's going to be wide open. So those 4 setups or whatever out of this stick, switch, play, super good, super underrated play. People wouldn't expect this play to be good, but because you get those extra hot routes and whatnot, this play actually becomes a very top play out of the offense. But that's going to take us to our next play. I'm just going to talk about this inside zone briefly. Now with this inside zone, if you have a right-handed quarterback, you want to run to the left side. If you have a left-handed quarterback, which would be Vic or Tua, you want to run to the right side. The reason is look how fast this route combo or this handoff animation is going to be. So boom, very quickly, very swift, very clean handoff animation. We don't pick up a ton of yardage because the Seahawks offensive line is abysmal. But let's say I run it to the right. Look how slow this one's going to be. A lot slower, and we get hit in the backfield. The other one, I was able to get to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to cost you like 2 yards. So really, with a right-hand quarterback, I always like to run, especially out of this form. I like to run to this side. Our receiver's getting instant shedded every play. But no, it's just going to be your best bet at getting yardage, and especially in a 4th and 1 where he's selling out on the run. You want to give him this sort of pass look. What you really need to do is just run this to the left in order to have the best chance at picking up yardage. For whatever reason, George Kittle can't hold a block to save the life of him. Very inaccurate by EA because we know he can hold a block, but if you wanted to get even better blocking, you could maybe do something like this little motion flip, and then that linebacker's out there. You have a little bit more space to run, and just like that, you're going to be off to the races. Now, that's something that I don't really like to run too much, is that little motion flip, because I just feel like the blocking is a little bit worse. I just feel kind of uncomfortable with it, but if you want to know how to do that motion flip, just have your running back to the right side, and then you're going to motion DK over. That's going to flip those routes. So if I'd be on a slant, he would turn into like sort of a shallow crosser. But look at this. I don't want Thomas and Kittle sacked. I just am not a fan of that look. But if you want to run the ball, that's probably the best way to do it. Obviously, that can be a tell. So if your opponent sees you do that, you don't want to run every single time. But that's pretty much it for inside zone. Not too much. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just a simple run play. But inside zone, I do run it a fair amount out of this. And a lot of times if they're in a passing formation, big dime, big nickel, whatever the case may be, nickel normal, then you can really take advantage of that inside zone. Now, for our next play, it's going to be the 4 verticals play. Now, for this play, you have to run it flipped. You have to run it to this side. The reason for that, I'm actually going to just completely change the coverage because this is going to work against a cover 2, so I want to sort of talk about that. But again, it's going to be the 4 verts. Make sure your running back's on that right side. And I can just come out in pretty much any cover 2. So we have our defense. What you're going to do here is if you know you're running 4 verts, I would recommend trying switching your route receiver with those extra hot routes right here. Now, I actually have, hot route master and bunt in my ultimate team, so this isn't really a worry to me. But for this play specifically, I like getting him on these extra hot routes. If not, what you can do is put A on a post, B on a hitch, and X on a curl. This is my favorite route combo where you have this tight end here. But what you're going to do specifically against cover 2, which is going to open this up, is you're going to motion him out. So just like this. And look how wide open he is against cover 2. This works against big dime, cover 2 sink, with soft squats and clod flats. Let's say that he uses that, which a lot of times he will use that. So again, this route combo is B on a hitch, A on a post, X on a curl. If you want, you could also put X on this deep dig. I really dislike that route combo, though, because I feel like the routes are too congested, and that pretty much turns it into a flood concept. But I definitely prefer this setup. And again, you're going to motion him out every time. So just like this, let's say he uses it, the hitch is going to be just completely open. And sometimes if you roll out far enough, that post will get open as well. Just very, very good route combo as well. Now, I'm going to show you guys, I don't know why I was respotting the ball, but I'm going to show you guys why you have to run it with your 2 receivers on the right. So I'm running 4 verticals. Let's say I want to run it from this side. Oh, I can't motion. I literally cannot motion him outside. For whatever reason, when you run this route combinations to the left, you just can't motion this player. Now, I can still run 4 verticals, but I really like the motion to just set it up, very quickly. Look at that. The cloud flat's just going to follow, and it's just covered. So it just doesn't work for whatever reason. It might work better, if I was on the short side, obviously, but for whatever reason, I don't know why I can't motion him. It's just some weird rule with the form, I guess, but it is pretty annoying. But this by far is the best route combo that I've found. Something else you could do if you want to get a little bit glitchy, put B on a slant, X on an out, still run 4 verticals. The wheel's still going to get open, but if he ever is going to use that, if you see him using the wheel route 100% every single time, that's a route combo that you really want to go to, because it's just going to completely exploit what he's doing. And you can easily throw a low ball to A or a low ball to B. So make sure you don't prematurely roll out right there before your routes even develop if you're going with that setup, because then you could end up getting sacked. So that's something that you don't really want to do. But overall, I didn't even motion there. But against the short side, he should still get open. So if you're struggling, if your opponent's continuing to run cover 2, whether it's out of big dime or whatever the case is, that's something you can do. And you can also run this formation, with no tight end. If I wanted to max protect, I could block him, maybe put X on a deep dig, and then keep B on his hitch. Just anything to sort of distract him from this wheel route. B is going to be, like I said, open against this cover 2 every single time down the road. So that's going to be, something super nice for you guys. But that's pretty much it for this 4 verts. Let's hop into our last play of the formation, this flood. Flood's going to be a cover 3 beater, so that's something that's going to be nice. We have a 1-play touchdown. I actually dropped a video on this formation, just a full video on just this play. So if you want a little bit more in-depth setup, that's something that you could go with. But all right, here we are in the play. So you want to run your receivers on the wide side in this setup. What you're going to do, first things first, you're going to smart route X. And the next thing that I like to do is put A on a corner. So you're going to put A on a corner. You're going to smart route that corner so he's deeper. Now, what I like to do here is you can really do whatever you want. I like to put Y on a curl. And as far as B, you could really do whatever you want with B. Maybe a dig, whatever route you want. We're going to be scrambling out to this right side, trying to throw our deep post here. So we're going to snap the ball. I'm going to roll out, and he's going to be wide open. And the reason he's wide open is just because that tight end route. Now, you could really run this with any player on a, corner route. I could put Metcalf on a corner if I have hot route master, whatever. But just pretending that you're running an escape artist QB with no hot route master, and you have these two. You have a route apprentice here, and you have a slot apprentice there. The setup again, you're going to smart route X. You're going to put Y on a curl. Now, the reason Y is on a curl is a lot of times these curls, they actually, sort of distract the user. This one's a little bit tough to distract the user just because they can see the post right off the bat. So if they're smart, they lurk it. But A on a corner, smart route that corner. And we're just going to wait. And he's just going to be so wide open. If you want to see real gameplay on this play, like I said in that specific video, I did show a couple of real clips of it working with the Patriots, with the 49ers, so I don't even have escape artists in those clips. But again, here's the setup. If I wanted to, I could put Y on like a post. Like I said, I like the curls better. B, you could really put on a hitch. You could put him on a dig, maybe a drag, whatever you want with him. And again, make sure that all you need is that corner route smart routed. He's going to pull it down. No matter how shallow the corner route is, he's getting pulled down every time, and he's completely open. So, super strong play. Now, against cover 2 specifically, so I'm going to quickly audible one last time. Super annoying. I probably should have just taken out a second controller. I did make that mistake, though. Sometimes when I use the second controller, and you guys can probably see, like the icon just flashes and covers my hot route, which is just so annoying. But as far as this play, what I like to do, here's a max protect setup for you guys. You have a pretty similar to curl flat out of bunch, the super OP play last year. But he's going to get completely open against cover 2 pretty much for a one-play touchdown almost. But it's going to be 40 yards plus pretty much. Or at least 30 yards plus if you have to possession catch maybe. But again, you can keep your receivers on this wide side of the field. And what you're going to do is simply put B on a deep dig, put X on a streak. I can just snap the ball like that, roll out here, set my feet. Just completely open. The cloud flat's not going to follow it, even if I put B on like some useless route. So let's say I just max protect. I put B on a useless route. Pretend that he's out of the play. We have 2 routes. You guys might be thinking that the deep dig's pulling him down, but he's just going to pull down on his own because we're scrambling out of the pocket. For this one, you really do kind of need to scramble out. It can work if you don't, but it's going to be a lot better as far as the swerve catching and everything with that. So again, even if I max protect, put B on a useless route, which you don't want to do. Sit in the pocket. We're going to get shedded, but he's still going to get open like that. Obviously, if I was sitting in the pocket, I would have got a faster animation. I would have been able to make that play. But just super great play. It doesn't really get enough love. If you wanted to get, maybe glitchy, this is a route combo you could do. Put A on a trail, B on a curl, snap that football, and A is going to be open a lot of the times. And because, they will pick up on it, they'll start using that corner. Hit them with A on a couple of different routes, and you're going to be good to go. But that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10K before Madden 21, so make sure you guys are supporting the channel. If you love these videos and they are helping you, let me know some videos you would like to see in the comments. I'm dropping a Patriots offensive ebook soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, peace. I'm out of here.